Hey YouTube, welcome back. Today we have a new video on system design fundamentals, and today we'll talk about something called a proxy server. It will be a quick video. I would like to make these type of videos pretty short, like 5 minutes, so help me with that. So first, let's just talk about what is the definition of a proxy server. So in computer networking, a proxy server is a server application that acts like an intermediate between a client requesting a resource and the server providing that resource. It improves privacy and performance in the process. So how it works? Let's say that we have a client. Okay, let me make the client this. This is the client. Okay, we have a client here. Let's call it. Let's call this client. And let's just. Okay. And we have server. And instead of this, the client directly asks server, because a server doesn't know if this client is like a real client or maybe is if the request of the client is safe or something. The client will send its request through something called a proxy server. Okay. So basically, how does this work? Let's say the client want to know what is the time. So it try to ask, it try to ask the proxy and tell the proxy like ask. Let me bigger. Ask. Yeah. No. What is that? It will just. What's going on? Why? How can I go back? Let me go back. Okay, let me just add a new text here. And I want to make it Miro, you're killing me. Why? Ask server about the time. For example, just make this one bigger. So the client want to ask that to get the time right now. So the server, the proxy get the request and will ask the server. We tell the server what is the time. And the proxy before the proxy looks the proxy get the request from the client, just see if this request it's healthy, it's something that we can send. If the client is authenticated, maybe we can just distribute the requests. It has a lot of it's a long process, but let's assume that this is happening on high level. And when the proxy is trying to ask the server about the time, the server will send the request back. Okay, we'll send the time, and it is 7 p.m. And when the proxy get the request, it will send it back to the client. But why this happened though? It is 7 p.m. So basically, the proxy here is acting as an intermediate between the client and the server. Okay, and it's basically checking the request of the client. Also, it's not allowing the client to access the server directly. So basically, right now the server is more secure. It has like some level of privacy, and also we are increasing the performance. We talk about how we increase the performance in the bit. In terms of proxy, we have two types of proxy. We have something called an open proxy, which will look exactly like that, and an open a proxy server may reside on the user's local computer or any point between the user's computer and the destination servers on the internet. So a proxy that passes unmodified request and response is usually called a gateway, and we create a video about what is a gateway, or something, or sometimes as a tunnel proxy. A forward proxy is an interfacing proxy used to retrieve data from the wide range of resources. In resources. So we have two types of proxies. We have something called open proxy and reverse proxy, and this is a perfect example of an open proxy. So in an open proxy is a forwarding proxy server that accessible by any internet user. We have two things here. We have something called anonymous proxy, and this server reveals its identity as a proxy server, but it does not disclose the originating IP address of the client. Although this type of server can be discovered easily, it can be beneficial for some users as hides the originating IP address, which increasing their privacy and their security. We have something called the transparent proxy, and this proxy is this server not only identifies itself as a proxy server, but with the support of the HTTP header field called X404, the originating IP address can be retrieved as well. The main benefit of this of using this type of the server is the ability to cache a website for faster retrieval. After that, we have different type of proxies. We have something called retriever proxy, and this one is quite interesting. So let me just try to copy this one. We have a client here, and we have a server here. Okay, let's take this one as a server, and let's say that right now the client try to hit a request and just accessing, like for example youtube.com, or accessing any server. So basically, when the client try to access any server, or like access any domain, so let me just let's have this proxy here. Okay, and we wanna wrap this, but let me before wrap it, because if I wrap it right now and try to put the can I make it down? So I just, or it doesn't work. You know what? It doesn't look pretty. Let me make it like that. I guess in this way. You know what? Doesn't look even pretty this way. Yeah. Okay, this is the better way, and just like that, and just like that, and yeah, just like that. Okay, that's nice. But just can I make it? Yeah. Okay. So let's just try to create this one and do it like that, and I'll tell you what's going on here. So in this one, This called a retrieve reverse proxy, and this taking a request from the internet and forwarding them to servers in an internet network. Those making requests connect to the proxy and may not be aware of the internal network. The reverse proxy is a proxy server that appears to clients to be ordinary server. It's acts like for the client. It when the client try to connect with this proxy, it will appears to the client as it's just an ordinary server. Reverse proxy forward requests to one or more ordinary servers. Basically, the proxy will try to forward the request to the server. Maybe it distributes servers. Let me delete this one to try to make it better. So let me create. We have more than one server, and basically the proxy will try to distribute the request to all these servers. Okay. No, yeah, thank you. So basically the response from the original server is returned as it came from directly from the proxy. So right now the proxy will act as it's the only server, and the client doesn't know anything about what's going on underneath. It doesn't know, it knows nothing. Let me just delete this also, and just to try to connect it directly with the proxy. Yeah, let's make it make it look way more prettier. So the response from the original server is returned as as if it came directly from the proxy server, leaving the client with no knowledge of the original server. Reverse proxies are installed in the vicinity of one or more web servers. So all traffic coming from the internet and with a destination of one of the neighbors web servers goes through the proxy server. The use of reverse originates its counterpart forward proxy, since the reverse proxy sits closer to the web server and serves only a restricted set of websites. There are several reasons for installing a reverse proxy. One is that we're creating something called we access the encryption and the SSL acceleration. So when a secure websites are created, the secure socket layer encryption is often not done by web server itself, but by a reverse proxy that it is encoded with SSL acceleration hardware. Furthermore, a host can provide a single SSL proxy to provide SSL encryption for an arbitrary number of hosts, removing the need for a separate SSL server certificate for each host, with the downside that hosts behind the SSL proxy have to share a common DNS name or IP address for SSL connections. The second thing, I guess you can see from this, the proxy right now it distribute the requests evenly between servers. So we use it. It also helps in the load balancing. The reverse proxy can distribute the load to several web servers, each serving its own application area. In such a case, the reverse proxy may need to rewrite the URLs in each web page, transition from extremely known URLs to the internet location. We have we serve the cache. The static content a reverse proxy can offload the web servers by caching the static content like pictures and other static graphic content. We have maybe a compression. The proxy server can optimize compress the content or to speed up the load time. We have spoon feeding. We have security, and yeah, that's it. I hope the video doesn't take too much time, because the plan of these type of videos to make them uh, easy and quick to describe. We just have one topic. We don't take deep dive in it. We just talk about the basics of this one. So today's video we talked about the proxies and why you need the proxies and what are the proxies, and we talk about two types of the proxies: the reverse proxy, and we talk about the open proxies. So that's it for this video. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video, and see you guys in future problems.